Hi, this is Todd Evangelist, and I am with the Imperial County Office of Education, and this is video number 5 in an ongoing distance learning video series for middle school students based on a program called the Strong Workforce Program, and that's exactly what it sounds like it is. It's the goals of the program is to try and develop a strong workforce, and we believe you're a part of that strong workforce in the years to come. So today what we're going to do is we're going to highlight a chapter from a book called Building a Bridge to Your Future. If you're a middle school student here in Imperial County, you may have this book with you, but chances are you may not have gotten this book before you left for school. And so that is okay. We're actually going to have a link. In fact, there's a link for what we're doing today in the bottom of this YouTube video. In the description right down there, you'll see like a bit.ly link. Make sure to click on that. You can open it up and you can either print it or you can use it a little bit later, but I'll show you a little bit about that. That's what we'll be doing today. The theme for today is chapter 10 out of this book, and it comes from Employability Skills. But before I do that, let me set up a quick screen share so that you can see a PowerPoint presentation. So let me do this real quick. All right, press present for that. All right. Once again, I had mentioned that this is from the Imperial County Strong Workforce Program Consortium. It's a whole bunch of group of educators from middle schools. Every middle school here in Imperial County is participating in this particular program. And today we're doing some distance learning on episode number 5. The theme is employability skills. It comes from us to us from that book, Building a Bridge to Your Future. By the way, down at the bottom, you'll note that I list the pages. So if you do have that book, or if you go back to school anytime soon and get that book, we're referencing pages 139 through 141. You don't need it, but just that's where it is. Here's our goals for today. After today's short video, I hope to accomplish 3 things. One is that I hope you are able to know examples of employability skills. You don't have to know every single one, but at least have an idea of what we're talking about. When somebody says an employability skill or maybe a soft skill, that you understand what we're talking about and maybe can give some examples. Also, what would be great is to know exactly what you're good at and some employability skills that you already have. We're going to list a few for you, and we want you to try and identify some that you already have. And then I want you to list, number 3 is be able to list 5 that you want to improve upon. That's maybe the most important part of today's lesson. So I mentioned employability skills, and I also kind of mentioned it almost synonymously together, as if they're the same word, with soft skills. And so employability skills or soft skills, you can use that interchangeably. And here's what we mean by that. Think about a hard skill and a soft skill. A hard skill is something that you have that no one can take away from you, that is something that you learned or a skill set that it maybe is uniquely to you. For example, proficiency in a foreign language, that's a hard skill. You got that. You're not going to forget to learn Spanish or forget English. You know it, and so that's a hard skill. If you know another language, that's even better. A degree or certificate. So for example, I went to college, and so I have a bachelor's degree, and then I went to college a little bit longer, got a master's degree. I have a teaching certificate because I'm a teacher, so I have a teaching certificate. Those are things that I can hang on my wall. I don't hang them on my wall now, but I hang those on my wall, and they're hard skills that I've obtained. Typing speed, that's another thing that you can work to improve on. You can have a verifiable typing speed. I type 40 words a minute, whatever it might be. Machine operation. Dude, if you're a welder and you can lay down a weld that looks like a bunch of little BBs lined up, that's a skill. That's a hard skill. Not hard in the sense of hard to learn, but it's a hard, tangible skill that you can do. Computer programming. Maybe you know Java language and you can program. Those would all be examples of hard skills that you would know. Conversely, as we move over to soft skills, or what we would call today employability skills, here's some examples of what we're talking about. Communication. How well can you interact with people? Flexibility. Are you able to do something different from one day to the next? Or if somebody you're working with needs you to do something different on the spur of a moment without much notice, are you able to adapt and do that? Leadership, teamwork, time management. Those are not necessarily things that you can take a class in or get a certificate and hang up on the wall that says, I'm a good team member. I guess you could have a certificate that says that, but typically those come to you from experiences. So here's what we want to do to talk about that a little bit deeper. Let me give you some more examples of soft skills. And that is found in this handout. I list it here. It's this little bit.ly link here. And it's actually, once again, it's down at the bottom of this video link. So if you look in the description, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube, look down at the bottom and this link will be there. I suggest that you pull up that link and then have that in front of you. In fact, you may want to pause the video, pull up that link, and then have that sitting there as well if you have a big screen. I'm going to stop sharing this so I can pull up the link and kind of walk you through that real quick. So hold on for a sec. Let me share that particular document. Okay. Here's what that document, by the way, I posted that document into a Google document and a Google Drive that's shared by folks. So if you want to, you may have been given this assignment from your teacher at your middle school, and they may have sent this link to you already ahead of time. So if that's the case, great. And if it's the case, if they're linking it from where we have it at the County Office of Education, you're not going to be able to edit it. So what I would suggest that you do is download it to either your Google Drive or download it as a Word document, however you want to do. You want to be able to edit it and type it and fill it in yourself and highlight stuff yourself. So, employability skills and lists of 5. You want to download this document and obviously be able to put your name on all those things. I'm not going to download it right now because I just want to kind of show it to you. Here's a list of words that are, or actions or things that are employability skills. And what we've done is we have the skill right here and then a little bit of a definition off to the other side of it. So what I want you to do is read through this list a couple times. And it's just, I don't know, it's about a page or so. I don't know how many are there. I didn't count them all, but it goes through 2 pages. So I don't know, what is that? Maybe 30, 40. I think less than 50 words or skills. Read through that list a couple times, and then it might be a good idea to kind of use the highlighter on your editor in Word or in Google Docs. Maybe highlight ones that just kind of jump out at you. That's totally up to you. The real work will be in the final 2 pages of this document. This next page is assessing the employability skills that you already have. So here's what I want you to do. Being able to list the skills that you possess is really important. It's important for you to know those skills, and it's also which ones you already possess. And it's also important for you to be able to articulate that and tell other people, like somebody in a job interview that you're applying for in years to come. So it's a good skill for you in the future. So it's important that you know them and that you're able to explain how you obtain those. So here's an example. What I want you to do is we have, I think, 5 different boxes here. I want you to write down your 5. From that list up on top, I want you to try and find ones that you think you already possess, or the ones that kind of you feel you connect with, that you're the strongest in. Doesn't have to be the same. There's no wrong answer in that. You just want to pick 5. When you pick one or one of those, each of those 5, I want you to write down in that other example of how you use that skill or how you have used that skill. Give us a little sentence about how you've done it. Here's an example. Leadership. Here's what I would say. Here's an example of what you could say. I represented the 7th grade students at Korfman Middle School on the student council. All right. So if you say leadership is a soft skill, then give me an example of where you got that, where you showcase that skill or where you learned that skill. Teamwork. Here's another one. Well, I think, I work well with team. I have good teamwork ethos or, skillship, employability skill for me. Where did I learn that? Well, I played on the Barbara Worth junior high volleyball team for 2 years. And so I learned how to be on a team and know how to do all the things that a team needs you to do. That would be an example, so that when you're in an interview and somebody says, what are you good at? And you say, well, I'm a good leader. And then it's one thing for somebody to say that they're a good leader. It's another one for them to say, I'm a good leader because I was on the student council for a year when I was at McCabe. So we want you to think about that. So do me a favor, download this, fill that in, complete that, and your teacher may have instructions on getting it back to them. The next page is planning for the employability skills that you need. Now I want you to look back at that same list of employability skills above and choose 5 employability skills that you do not have, but you would like to develop. List them below and explain how you can develop each skill. So here's an example. Networking. I want to be a journalist or a writer. I just came up with this. So I'm going to email or direct message my favorite author or journalist. That would be a way, that would be your plan of how you're going to try and get that. Networking is trying to get connections with people. And by the way, probably every middle school student who fills this out probably needs to put networking down there, because you're young. You don't know as many people as an old guy like me would know. I got tons and tons of business cards because everywhere I go, I collect a business card. Flexibility, that's another skill that I put this down for me because I'm not very flexible on a lot of things. So I put down flexibility, and if I was a student, here's what I'd say. I want to be more flexible, so I'm going to pick a club at school that I don't know anybody in, I don't know anything about it, and I'm going to join it for a year. I don't know chess. I don't know how to play chess, and so what I'm going to do is to be flexible and to stretch myself, to show how flexible I am, to kind of work out that muscle. I'm going to join the chess club at school and be in that club for a year. And I don't know, maybe lose every chess match that I ever come into, but it'll be something different for me. It'll show how I'm flexible and able to do something different from day to day. So that's an example of skills that you can learn as an employability skill that will be helpful for you when you are into the world of work after school. All right, let me quickly go back to my PowerPoint, see where I was at with that. I think we were at the handout. And so going back to our goals for this particular lesson, just to review real quick while you, after you do this, you can do this on your own. But here's the goals. We want to know that you have examples of employability skills that you can list what those are, define those. And you would also be able to list, you know, some employability skills that you have and list those 5. We gave you a little form to do that. And you would be able to list 5 that you want to improve upon. So that's the goal for today. We hope you had a good time, and we will be back next week with another video, or whenever it gets delivered to you by your teacher, however you find these. Thanks for listening. Once again, my name is Todd Evangelist, and I am with the Imperial County Office of Education. With my contact information, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, and send me a message. All right, thanks a lot. Talk to you later.